The X-Pro1 is the finest Fujifilm model currently available, and a surprise contender for first place in many of our image quality lab tests. Retro camera design is popular right now, and so far the X-Pro1 is the best of this new generation of old-school cameras, thanks largely to the performance of three new X-mount lenses. There's one for macro or portrait photography, one for wide-angle landscapes, and one for a bit of both. We were consistently amazed by the razor-sharp detail produced by each lens, all of which are primes, meaning fixed zoom, and therefore less vulnerable to ugly distortion effects such as chromatic aberration. Color rendition was also remarkable. When using the most accurate color mode, the test scores surpassed even juggernauts like the Canon 5D Mark III, meaning human subjects will look especially realistic. Rates of unwanted image noise were also relatively low, even at sky-high maximum sensitivity level. This, combined with the lens family's wide-open apertures, as well as some very strong dynamic range, makes the X-Pro1 an ideal camera for low-light photography. If there's one feature that symbolizes the X-Pro1's fusion of classic and cutting edge, that's got to be the new hybrid viewfinder. While it's possible to frame up your shots using the no-frills optical mode, an alternate and much cooler method is a heads-up display that overlays relevant data, sort of like a fighter jet cockpit. Even though the camera's rear LCD monitor is of very high quality, you'll find the viewfinder is simply too impressive to ignore. The third and final mode is fully electronic for the most accurate framing, and all three options are toggled by a mechanical lever. In fact, just about everything on this camera is controlled by a mechanical lever, or manual dial, or rotating ring. That's what makes the X-Pro1 so much fun. There's something about clicking a manual aperture ring into place that a software menu just can't replicate, and so much control at your fingertips makes for a more painless experience too. No camera is perfect, obviously, and neither is this one. We had some trouble handling the body because the rear panel is so crowded with buttons. Fujifilm's new X-Trans sensor design is clearly outstanding for resolving detail, but the trade-off is distracting and artifacted video footage. This camera is purely for stills. Ultimately, the Fujifilm X-Pro1 is an exemplary marriage of form and function. We enthusiastically recommend the X-Pro1 for anyone longing for some hands-on photography, or, for that matter, anyone interested in sharp, gorgeous pictures.